So I just remember one story vividly. My mother was getting alcohol from the liquor store. My brother was in his carriage. He was probably like 4 at the time. And this guy came out of the liquor store, heavily drunk. And he just told my brother, he was like, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you." And my brother was only 4 years old. And it's just crazy to tell that to a kid. And I guess the guy didn't know because he was drunk. And that really scarred my brother, I think. And we still talk about it today. And he understands that there's going to be people like that in our life, but you just can't let them get to you. So, but that was just a really bad time for him, and I think it really scarred him. He still talks about it today, so it really has a lasting impression on him.
And I think, can you tell us the story again? I think you told me a story about there was some sort of fire, and you were in the car.
Yeah, so me and my grandmother were on the balcony. We used to watch my brother and my mom go to school. She used to drive them to school, and you could see from the balcony. So one day, me and my grandmother were watching from the balcony, and they pulled off like a normal day. And all of a sudden, me and my grandmother just see smoke and fire. And we just looked, and she was like, "Oh my gosh." And my mother's car caught on fire just as they got out of the car. So I guess God just saved them that day, and they were unscathed. And it was crazy how her car just caught on fire, and none of them got hurt. But that could have been the end of both of their lives, and I wouldn't have a brother today. So I really thank God for that. The place we lived at, it was called the Monroe Towers. And it was just like a really bad part of Asbury. Like there was a lot of the gangs like there is today, and it just wasn't a good life for me and my brother to be living in, and just it was just not good overall. So Bill, he would him and his wife. I slept over his house one time, and he rented a movie. I remember it was called Elf, and we just sat and watched it. And I really never had someone like show me compassion like that, and never really got to spend time with somebody like that. Like my grandmother, she cared about me, but we never really sat down and had that time together. So it was really touching. And then he used to bring me. Remember our first time we went out to eat. It was called Nino's. It's a place in Ocean. And I really wasn't used to going out to eat a lot. We never really had that good quality of food, and we never really got food that much. So it was like really different. So I really couldn't thank him enough for that.
What's I already asked about the relationship, but Bill, let's talk about the relationship now. As far as like he goes to the games, he's very demanding of what you do. He's very hard to please. Can you talk about what kind of things will he say to you after games? Even when you do well, he always finds something, you didn't do this right. And how does it motivate you and things like that?
No, even if I do well, he's going to point out the things I did wrong. And it just makes me better as a player, because a lot of people, they just tell you did good, you did this right. But him critiquing me and telling me the things I did wrong, it really helps me as a player. It really helps me as a person, because when we do good, we all have our flaws, so that really helps me a lot when he tells me, because a lot of parents just tell their children that they do good, they do this right. So he really, even when I do good, he tells me I do bad, and when I do bad, he tells me I'm bad. So
how do you know that Bill is at your game?
You can hear him in the background. You can hear the ref telling him to be quiet. You can hear people in the background telling him to hush down. But you can just see that he truly cares about me.